million naira. By the time they added taxes and all that, I was in debt. Do you understand what I mean? Like, I did a business, what I got 100 million in my account. But by the time I paid all my expenses, including the government taxes, right? Including the government taxes, I was at a loss. Then somebody sees me and say, "Whoa, but you got 100 million naira the last time. I saw your account. They made that amount of money was paid to you." But the person is not taking into consideration what exactly are all my associated expenses. So I did a business of 100 million, and I ended up being in debt from doing that business. Profit is why companies close down. Most companies don't make a decent profit. Most companies, if your organization is making 20-25% profit after all expenses have been paid, then you're in the top echelon of the society. So this is a problem. So you that you're planning to be an entrepreneur, or you that you plan to go to work for the government, or you that you plan to start a business or to join somebody in running a business, right? You must be aware of these things. Young people, I mean, my son is in secondary school, and some his friends have a business. They have a business. They make clothes for their other colleagues, and right from when they were in SS1. People, their OPA account, they go for holidays, they go to the market. These are 13, 14-year-olds. They go to the market, they buy hoodies, they buy the material, they give it to somebody who sews, then they give it to another person who will then do the labeling. They'll put their names. So they'll put their names or their nicknames, whatever. So my son, his nickname is Prime. They'll put it on his clothes. The boys, they're 14 and they run a business. They probably run a better business than some 50-year-olds. They are 14. They're not abroad. They're in my son's school here in Lagos. Profit and your inability to be able to capture it appropriately is why companies close down. It's why organizations are not sustainable, because they don't have a profit. They can't retain a portion of the monies that come into their hands. Let me move on very quickly because of time. The next thing is to manage your costs. This is the other reason. All right. So I can rename this whole slide and say and call it reasons why organizations close down. Yeah, I can just leave it at that. These are the reasons. The inability of an organization to effectively manage these things are that's the reason why companies close down. They just close up, right? They fold up completely. Okay, this is telling me I should only put close. No, I want to put close down intentionally, like so that they pack up, right? They close down or they pack up, right? They just go home. They can't do it any longer because they're unable to manage their costs. The cost of buying the raw materials, the cost of doing one thing or the other. The inability of an organization to manage this cost, that organization will end up closing down. If they're unable to effectively manage their costs, they're going to close the organization down. The various types and the various categories of costs. When you get in the various, when you get into accounting, they're going to teach you these things. As it is, right? They're going to teach you these things. The various categories, you will never, it's equal to inability to be able to make a profit, right? So you can see that If you don't have a plan, you're going to get into trouble. I alone know the plans that I have for you. And that was, I mean, that's in the Old Testament. That is the Torah. That is even the Jews say that. I mean, so that means even we're not even talking about Christians. That means if somebody says, I know the plans that I have for you. So if God has plans for you, then you should have I can bet that the Quran probably has something that is similar to that we have a plan for you. I can bet, I can put my money on it. Okay. Once again, it's very important. Okay. If I move on to number 4 here, it speaks about what? How do you acquire, satisfy, delight, and retain customers? How exactly do you go about acquiring, satisfying, delighting, and retaining customers? How do you go about this? How do you go about acquiring, satisfying, delighting, and retaining customers? Because if you don't have customers, you cannot acquire them. Or when you acquire them, they get annoyed with you all the time and they leave you. They're unhappy with you. They never come back for repeat business. They go somewhere else. Even if you have mosque members, they come to your mosque. Let's assume that your mosque looks nice from outside, or your church. They come there, right? They're unhappy with the way you do things. Okay. They think that your timing is poor, your chairs are poor, this is wrong. That you're not being considerate in one area or the other, and they only come once and they never come back again. Even that mosque or that church is not going to be successful. They don't understand what you're saying. You're speaking in a language or in a tone, whatever that thing is. Everybody, you have to worry about these things. Cost, your customers. So the boys that are age 13, 14 that are making hoodies for all their friends in their school, 2 or 3 of them. Like they made one for my daughter. She said something happened, whether when she washed it, something, they took it back from her and then gave her another one because they're trying to make her their customer for an extended period of time. They even want her to convince me to buy a hoodie from their friend. When it's my birthday, they want to speak to their friends to make a special hoodie for me. And they're 13, they're 14. So you can't say because you're 13, you're 14, you can't understand this. You can. You definitely can. Okay? You have to have some kind of competitive advantage. You must have your organization, your business, even you as a person, you must have a competitive advantage over the next person. Compulsorily, you should have a competitive advantage over the next person. You should. What makes me better? Why will people come to me? Why will somebody hire me? Your inability to have a competitive advantage over the next person is why you might struggle to get a job. Because you don't have any competitive advantage over the next person, you might not be able to get a job. Because you come into the room, somebody else comes in after you, and the person that is coming after you is better than you are. And I mean, that's what matters. The person that comes after you is better than you are. So that person has a competitive advantage, probably looks better, probably acts better, probably has a better attitude, probably speaks better English, probably has better appearance. It could be anything. You go for an interview, you look very unkempt. I don't know an organization that wants to hire somebody that looks like they just came back from the pigsty or from the dump. So competitive advantage is very important. If it's important to you as an organization, it's important to you as a person, it's important to your organization. So if you're going to be an entrepreneur, you have to be on top of these things. Every entrepreneur needs to understand that there is a market somewhere and they have to be certain, is there a market? Are you coming up with products and services that have there's no demand? Is there, please write that relative to number 6. Is there a demand for what you're producing? Because you can come up with a product or come up with a service, which is what happens to startups and entrepreneurs. They will come up with a product, they'll come up with a service, and that product and that service, nobody needs it, or nobody's willing to pay the amount of money they're asking for it. You come, you live in Idimu like I used to, and then you now open this shop in the middle of the road in Idimu where you say you sell sushi, Chinese half-boiled or non-boiled fish. You say because you've looked at you scanned the entire area, no other person is selling it. Is there a demand? The people who live there, do they need that particular thing from you? Is that what they need? Why not open a shop where you sell bread, or you sell whatever it is that the people in that particular location that they need? Why not? So you have to, is there a demand? And if there is a demand, how do you keep getting larger market share? This is what this course is entrepreneurship. And you cannot be an entrepreneur, neither will you be able to join one, neither will you be something that they also call like an entrepreneur, like you work within an organization but you're creating products and services. You will never be able to do those things except you understand these things appropriately. You also need to understand how to manage people. I mean, about 100 people in my organization in between Nigeria and Ghana. I can't do everything myself. I can't be everywhere. I have to understand, how do I get the right people? How that I keep hiring, keep training people so that we can keep delivering our services as an organization? How do I attract and keep good people? How do I build a certain culture where people want to stay? How do I build that kind of culture? How do I build a non-toxic work environment? How do I ensure I don't come to the office and start to insult people, speak down at them, make them feel less than they are? How do I ensure that I don't do those things? Because I need people. I mean, I'm not a solo business owner. I have to have people. I mean, to organize Transformation College, I need people to set up these classes, to create PowerPoint presentations, to do flyers, to do all that. So you have to have people. You can't do it all by yourself. It's impossible. How do you improve the quality of the products and services? And that is forever. As you think about 2025, how are you able to improve your own products and services? How do you get better? How do you get better? How do you improve the quality of your products and services? How do you consistently innovate? Some people, that's a challenge that they have. The organization is unable to innovate. They've innovated in the past. They're unable to innovate any longer. So how do you consistently and continually innovate? How do you do that? The way by which you used to do things in the past, how has it changed? I took this class earlier in the year. We have done a lot of innovation around it as at today. How do you ensure that your business processes? Look at those kids that are making hoodies. They go to school, boarding house. They get their friends to save some of their pocket money and to give it to them. Sometimes they even give them cash. They keep the cash with their housemaster. They collect it when they're going home, when their parents come to pick them. They get into Lagos. They go to the market, they go to source for the materials. They take the materials to somebody that they have an arrangement with to make those clothes, those hoodies. They take it from the person that is sewing up those hoodies, and then they take it to the person that is going to print on them. And then they tell some of their friends to either come to collect it at home, or they take it back to school for their friends to collect. I mean, those guys have a supply chain. They're 13 and 14. I mean, really. And they keep looking at better ways. Before, they didn't have OPay and those accounts that kids can register for, but now they do. So they now get people to pay into their OPay so that they can deal with less cash. This is business is. My gate man used to run a business. I mean, it was literally the shop right of our environment to debt with him. And once they come to give him, clear one is that never give these people anything except I tell you that. And if they ever come to you, tell them to bring their money. Before they go to you and tell you that, they'll just be looking. They will say that the guy just looks at it that, oh, these are the children of my Oga. Let me just give them anything. Then he will write it. Then bring me a bill at the end of the month that I owe him 20-something thousand. I'm like, what? When did I collect 20-something thousand? What was it? They say, oh, my kids. I'm like, no, dude, this is not going to work. Ladies and gentlemen, young men and women, older men and women, these are the objectives of every organization. Whether that organization was started by you as an entrepreneur, it's an existing organization that you're going to join, these are the objectives of every organization. No church wants to make their people unhappy. There are workers even in the church and in the mosque, and there are good workers and there are bad workers, and nobody really wants bad workers. Even mosques, they innovate. Even churches, they keep innovating. If you take this away with you today, we pretty much can end the class. Well, we're not going to end the class. But this is my introduction, ladies and gentlemen. And I hope I've been able to get your thoughts. In your exam, you're going to be asked questions here. There's at least you're going to get questions here, because it doesn't end here. I can tell, we're not an African, we're an African school, but we try to do things differently. We don't want you to fail your exams. So we will tell you what you're going to see in the exams. Among these 20 areas, you're going to get 20 questions. That's a promise. Amongst these 20 areas, you're going to get 20 questions. Okay? These are some other things that are important, but I'll put those ones that I put there as my top 10, and then these are the others. I used to make a lot of money from one company. The reason why I closed it down was that I was owing the tax authorities a lot of money. I was poor at managing number one. I thought the business was just about making money. I thought a business was just about making money. I was very poor with number one. I didn't know that, once the taxman comes, they can come to seal your office and seal your organization. I didn't realize that. So if you're here, the young man now is about to study accounting, that wants to go and become an organizations have to get it right. Organizations have to get it right. Your compliance papers, otherwise you will still close that company irrespective of the amount of money you're making. You have to worry about your brand and your reputation. You have to worry about your overall business performance. You have to worry about risks. You have to worry about your stakeholders. Number 16 is also very important. Who are your partners? Who are your suppliers? Number 17 is also important. There's no running away from number 18, everybody. There's no going away from it. Every organization has to get on top of social media. Right? There's no, social media is real technology. I hope you know. Managing Google. We have a Google program that we're running right now, where we're going through different Google products once every month. We did it last month. We're going to do it next week, I believe, something along those lines. So managing your digital marketing as an organization is a big deal. Do you know how many people work in digital marketing for me across my businesses? About 10 of them. Did you hear what I said? Almost 10 of them. They don't really do marketing. They don't go do physical marketing. They do digital. They are on LinkedIn every day. There's a way you can use LinkedIn. LinkedIn is not just to look for a job. If I was young, my job would be to help my parents do better with their business on LinkedIn, on Instagram, on Facebook, to come up with creative ideas to help our family business. That whole thing is tied to number 18. Of course, you and I need to be good corporate citizens, both as individuals and even as organizations. We need to be good corporate citizens. We need to help the environment, help the society. We have to, at the very least, we must do CSR. Take food, clothes to not only tie to our churches and our mosques, also just, you can do it. As a business, you can go to a school to paint their school. You can do exercise books to give out. The society needs us as individuals, as people, as organizations. We can make clothes for less privileged people. The world needs us. That, for me, Transformation College is my number 19. That's it. I was telling the team, I said, I'm going to produce better graduates at Covenant University. I'm going to put in everything to ensure that I produce better graduates at Covenant University. They're the ones I'm benchmarking. They will do it. And of course, everybody needs to know about project management. We're thinking about how to infuse project management into our summer course now. Thinking about how to do it. So we're improving our summer course. We want to include project management into the June to August course. June, July, August. Okay? These things are important and they're essential. The 20 objectives of every business. The 20 objectives of every organization. Nobody wants to piss off their partners and their suppliers. Get your suppliers and your partners to hate you, to not speak to you, to decide not to do business. Business investors, number 15 can make you close down that business. They say, give me my money, give me back my money. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not too difficult to know. It's not too difficult to understand. And it's the foundation for some of the courses we're going to be doing. Even some of these objectives are important for a lot of government institutions. I mean, I was with a government institution recently. I was in FRS in Abuja. I can tell you that some of these things are very important to them. Go onto the FRS website. I'm sure I can look for something on my computer that I presented to them. I'm certain. Hold on. Yes. Because it was just last week. It was recent. Okay. And I'll show you something very quickly. Where is it? Yes. So you can't say because they're a government institution, then these things don't apply. These things apply. This is a government institution, FRS. I hope you can see my screen. I was in the government institution, FRS. And this is the mission, the vision, and the core values of FRS as they have put it on their public-facing website. So you can't say that those things, those 20 things are not important. They're important to FRS. They're important to everybody. FRS is saying that they want to be the world's most efficient and trusted revenue service. They said that they want to get tax administration right. And they want to optimize revenue. So, they said they want to assess, collect, and account for revenue that is accruing to the Nigerian Federation. They put this, look at it. They said that these are their own core values. Whether they do these things as of today, I don't know. I can't validate that. But at least this is what they put out there as their core values. This is FRS. And then look at it. They said these are their own strategic pillars. It's all from their website, their public-facing website. So I took what they have on their public-facing website, I put it inside a PowerPoint, and I presented it to them. And I presented it even better than the way they put it on their own website. My presentation of this is better than what they have put on their own website. So once again, these are important things, right? They even have their own goals. As I said, all this is from their website. The people were looking at me when I went into their office. They were staring at me like, wow. But this is from their own website, not from, this is not my own organization. So those same 20 things that we're talking about, they're important to government organizations, maybe slightly different in terms of priorities and things like that. But I'm telling you that those things are important, irrespective of the organization, irrespective of the kind of organization. Those things that I put out there, they're very important. Everybody go to the chat room and tell me what is the thing that is coming to mind right now, quickly, before I continue. Tell me what's going through your mind from all those goals of businesses. Okay, I'll put it on my 11 to 20. I'll put them up again. I'll put it up again, right? Tell me, okay, what is going through your mind as we talk about, as based on some of the things I have said this morning. What is going through your mind? Tell me. Which of these goals? Once again, this is why companies close down. And I've run a very big business and I closed it down. So I'm speaking from experience. He learned obedience by the things he suffered. Can everybody see 11 to 20 now? Everybody? Can you see 11 to 20?
Yes, sir.
Brilliant. Thank you. Some people said they couldn't see it. This is why these are the objectives of every organization. I didn't copy it from anywhere. I have a book. I'm going to publish it this year before next year. That is tied to this. I have a full book that is tied to this. Okay. So these are the objectives of every business. Doesn't matter whether they're government or whether they're private or they're not for profit. Maybe the priorities will be different. Maybe the priorities will be different, but these are the objectives of businesses. Let me go to the chat room. Let me see. All right. What is your takeaway before I go ahead? All right. All right, TFT. And Michael says the only if you can't reduce your costs, then you have to increase your numbers. You have to increase your volume. So let's say, for example, out of every 10 naira, my cost is 9 naira. I can only get 1 naira, and I want to increase my profit. What I have to figure out, and business is not for everybody. I personally tell a lot of people not to be entrepreneurs. I tell a lot of people not to be entrepreneurs. It's very difficult to be an entrepreneur in Nigeria. People say that they have the highest amount of opportunities. I agree. There are more opportunities in Nigeria than in many other parts of the world, but there are also more challenges and hindrances. How is it that in Nigeria, when you want to go and collect loan, it's 30% per annum? The average business cannot make more than 10 or 15 or maximum 20%. That means taking a loan to run a business is completely out of it, except that business is 1 out of every 1,000 where you can make 50% or 60% profit. How many businesses can you truly make 50% profit? Like when you've taken all your costs into consideration, you still end up with 50% profit. Very few businesses. In fact, as I said, only maybe 1 out of 1,000. So the only thing you can do is that you have to figure out a way to now do more in volumes. Michael, that's all. You will now have to do more in volumes. That means you can now, how many 1 naira? So if you produce a shirt and you can only get 1 naira. And right now you only produce 10 for a certain period, maybe a week. That means you can only get 10 naira. The thing you have to figure out is that how do you now produce 50? And you must produce the 50 in such a way that your cost will not keep increasing. So business is not for everybody. I tell most people, don't run a business. Right? It's too difficult to run a business. I can tell you, on this call, I have only about 20 people, right? Edith told me that they sent emails advertising this course to more than 2,000 people, right? So listen, right? This is a free school. Like, you come here for free. I'm teaching for free, right? You're not charged for these things. And I teach banks everywhere. I teach government institutions, right? And I'm teaching for free here. Nevertheless, people are not really interested in this. The average person is not interested in something like this. So, do you think that when I was starting, I could have thought that the average person does not really want to get better in their career, tied to one thing or the other that they do? I didn't think so. I wasn't aware of that. So, and this is not even a business. I found this business from my other businesses. So I'm just saying that business is really tough. Because if I wanted to make money from here to feed my kids, then I'll just get into trouble, because that means my kids will not be able to go to school because I don't make money from this. And if I thought I was going to make money, free people are not coming. If I now tell the people to pay 50,000, do you think they're going to come? No, they're not going to come. Yeah. So you have to, it's a problem of skill. You have to go and find out, how do I scale my business in such a way that my cost is also not increasing? How do I scale my business How do I do more in volumes in such a way that my cost is not also increasing? So maybe you have to now start doing bulk buying. But the biggest problem for most businesses, and I dare say that, is their inability to sell. The problem of businesses is not to create products and services. That's not a difficult thing. Please, everybody, write that down. The biggest challenge for most businesses is tied to two things: inability to be able to market and sell. Marketing and sales is the biggest challenge for businesses. Marketing and sales is the biggest challenge, right? Most people. Okay, Covenant says, how do I tackle the challenge of having customers buy a product on credit? You have to understand your own business. If you can accommodate the credit, so if you go to those people that borrow loans out, right? They'll keep sending you messages that you should come and borrow loans, they'll take loans. I beg your pardon, to come and take loans or borrow money. Take loans, borrow money from them. You know how they make money? They already know that 20 or 30% of the people who borrow money from them are never going to return the money. They know that already. But they've calculated their business that if 30% of the people don't pay back, the 70%, the amount of money that they're charging, the 70%, if those ones pay back, they will still make a profit. They have figured it out that if 30% end up being bad loans, the remaining 70%, they will still make money. They have figured that out. They have figured it out. So if you give credit, you have to build your own business model. Like, should I give credit? How much credit should I give? Should I not give credit? How do I approach this? You have to think about it for your own business. You have to think about it for your own business. So you can either encourage credit or you don't encourage credit. I mean, there's a business that I run as of today. One of the things that helped me is that I allowed people to come to me at the beginning without paying any amount of money. So we would do an audit for free, but when you want to collect your certificate, then we will insist we need to get paid our monies. So we'll give you an invoice upfront, but we'll never demand that you pay us. Well, it's almost like we render that engagement for free. But before we conclude the engagement, you must pay. It's almost like, in a sense, it's like I give you one leg of the shoe and I say, don't pay, take it away. But I keep the other leg. And I've already worked it out that, how many people will take one leg and run away with the one leg? And how many people, because they already have one leg and they're looking at the one leg in their room and they made the choice of the product, they love it, it looks nice, they will then put money together to collect the final leg of the shoe. But I'll allow you to take the first leg, you put it in your room, you even show your friends and your cousins, you say, oh, I just bought this shoe. All of them will be like, wow. But it's only one leg you're showing them. The other leg is still with me. If you don't pay me, then you won't collect the other leg. But because you've already taken down one leg, you've put it in your living room, you've prayed about it, you've laid hands on it, you've shown your cousins, people have come to say, wow, you're forced to come back to collect the final leg. So you have to work out your own business. You have to work it out. Like, should I give credit? Should I not give credit? And things like that. All right, other people, share your thoughts with me quickly. I want to hear from everybody. Mr. Ayodele, quickly share your thoughts with me. What have you picked up? All right. Well, they'll share the attendance link again. Don't worry, they'll share it. Everybody, what have you picked up? Right? What is the big thing that has occurred to you before I go ahead? All right. What is the big thing you've learned before I go ahead? Quickly. Tell me, everybody. What's that big thing that has come to your mind? What is the action item for you? Either you're a young person that is learning a lot of things, or you're a business owner, what is your take home? What is the thing that has come to mind? What are you taking out of this session? Anybody? Tell me quickly as we go. Before I go further. All right. All right. Oh yes, that's the biggest problem. You see, thank you very much, TMT. Guys, you can, I can get products and services from everywhere. I can hire Indians. I can go and form a partnership with a Chinese company. I can go to Cotonou to meet somebody who makes clothes. I can import. I can outsource. I can find a small tailor that is a really good tailor, but that is based in Ilorin somewhere. I can have an agreement. I'm going to send you this, make this for me. That you see, that's not the problem. The problem is every manufacturing company buying from you? Is every bank buying from you? The way you're on this call, are students buying from you? Are people buying from you? Are people buying from you everywhere? That is the big deal. The people biggest challenge is marketing and sales. People knowing that you even exist. You know, I would like to believe I'm well known in a lot of places, but I still go to places and people are like, "Who are you?" That means even my brand is not big enough. That means people are still in IT, they still work for banks, and they don't know that I exist. We've been running Training Heights as an organization for 21 years, and there's still companies, there's still banks, there's still insurance companies, there's still pension institutions that don't know that we even exist. It's not our product. We have great products, we've got great services, but people don't really know us. Okay? Okay, Michael also says, concerning improving product quality, wouldn't the improvement of quality affect the revenue? Because in case stimulate increase in price. So, though I don't think revenue is what the issue is. Your product quality will affect your cost, is probably what you're saying. Like you want to improve the quality, and by trying to improve the quality, your cost will also go up. Yes, absolutely. Right? So, once again, I mean, if I try to turn this into a strategy session, we're still going to learn a lot of things. We're still going to learn a lot of things. I can't answer all this because it would distract me. All right. Marketing and sales is the biggest problem. Marketing and sales. That is what even mature companies, advanced companies, that's what they can't figure out. The different banking products are the same. Do you agree? Insurance products are the same. Why does one bank do much better than the other one? Why is one bank their profit and the revenue double the other? Brand, sales and marketing. Brand, sales and marketing. That's why one organization does better than the other. So both of them are good. Both of them are great products. One has, I mean, look at Biggie Cola. You know, at some point in time, Coca-Cola started looking at it and saying that Biggie Cola is taking its more market share. You know what Biggie Cola was doing? Biggie Cola was selling in traffic. They found a way to, what do you think, where do you think people buy gala and soft drinks from? Shops or traffic? More traffic, more roadside than shops. Marketing and sales is the number one reason. A lot of you that have businesses here, a lot of you that have great products, great services. What's the big challenge that you have? You don't have a brand. The brand is poor. You're not marketing and you're not selling appropriately. Well, as I said, this is just the beginning of the class. Let me go ahead with my class. There's a lot that you will learn. Well, I say this all the time. I don't think I can ever take a class without talking about this. And next year we're going to do something on this. Every month we're going to go through one. You can't be. You can't You can't say you're going to graduate or build Word, Excel, PowerPoint effectively. Brothers and sisters, that is going to be a big challenge. There's no way you're going to be able to achieve your professional objectives if you're struggling with Word, Excel, PowerPoint. In second semester, we're going to take you through this in the second semester. In the second semester, we're going to take you through this. Second semester, we're going to take you through this. We're going to take you through this in second semester. What is an ERP? Enterprise Resource Planning. What is it for? How can it help? Some of you that are very curious, you can go online right now. You would even find this application on your Play Store. I don't know about all these rich people that use Apple Store, but I can tell you, for my Android store, you will find Odoo as an application, and it's an ERP. It's an ERP application. You will find it there. You find it there. An ERP application, Odoo. I know business can grow without having something like this. It's impossible. You can never scale. You can never become big. Of course, some people don't want to be global. Some people don't want to scale. Some people, I went somewhere, I was teaching, it was in Faith Foundation, and then the lady came to me that, that I don't really want to make a million. Like, I just want to make 100, 200 million naira per annum, and I'm fine. That must every company scale? I said, no, of course not. There's no real requirement that every company must scale. But you can decide that you want to stay small. I'm not sure that is consistent with a lot of things, but you can decide you want to be small. That you want your organization to be built around you, that you want to have a small business. It's possible. There's no requirement that you need to scale. But if you need to scale, then you're going to need this. There's a guy that I listen to a lot online. His name is Vusi, V-U-S-I. And I think if you're a business person, you should also listen to Vusi. He's a great guy. And he was saying, I think he did something called the irony or something of small. Small cannot serve a lot of people. Small in itself is not even very sustainable. Small cannot make a lot of impact. He talked about why you should not be small. It's got a couple of, he's a very social media type person. So if you're in this class, you're my student, then technology, you can't afford to run away from it. Microsoft Office and ERP. I can't stay small. Small is not consistent with me as a person. It is my beginning that is meant to be small. My middle and latter end needs to greatly increase. Okay? So, we're going to go through this in the second semester. But for the young people here, you're smart, you're sensible, you're curious, you have time on your hands. Go and play around with Odoo. You can install it you can register on your phone. You can go to your Play Store. You can go online. You need to know how to use a platform like Odoo. For people who want to go to work in organizations, how can you go to an organization and you can't write in your CV that you're a competent user of an ERP? You're not confident to write in your CV, a competent user of an ERP. You are afraid to write in your CV that you have expertise in the use of Microsoft Word, Excel, and PowerPoint, that you're a professional user, like you're confident to write it in your CV. I am a professional user, or I have expertise with Word, Microsoft Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. All right. So this is the NID curriculum. Everybody, an enterprise. What is an enterprise? Why should you be an entrepreneur? As I said, not all of us should be entrepreneurs. Some of us need to join an entrepreneur. You can't already have high blood pressure issues and then you can't become an entrepreneur in Nigeria. I would advise you to do that. I was telling one of my, I said, business is fiddle. Everybody, can you go online and just check for me what is the percentage of businesses that fail in Nigeria over a 10-year period? What do you think? And that GPT help us. What is the percentage of businesses that fail over a 10-year period? Even if you don't go to ChatGPT, think about businesses that you know. Think about banks that have closed down. Think about the shops at the mall that have closed down. Think about the shops on Awolowo Road, Ikoyi, that have closed down. And by Woodin, where is the shop? Have they closed? What about all those entities? Do you know how many shops they'll start off well at the mall, then they'll pack out of the mall, and then they'll disappear? In Nigeria, businesses fail a lot. I can bet you that 90% of businesses will pack up over a 10-year period. I can put my money on it that in Nigeria, 90% of businesses, they pack up over a 10-year period. I can tell you that for free. So business is very difficult in Nigeria. You have to be very smart. You have to be brilliant. Your head must correct, for lack of a better way to put it. Your head must be correct. And think about secondary, and think about schools. Think about those areas. Schools close up. Think about supermarkets. Supermarkets close up. Businesses fail. So this is what we're going to look at. What is an enterprise? Okay. Why should we be entrepreneurs? You know, the government talks about these things, but they're not factual, because the government really should not be encouraging everybody to be an entrepreneur. Because entrepreneurship is not meant for everybody. You must have a certain personality to be a successful entrepreneur. You must have a certain kind of discipline to be successful as an entrepreneur. It is really difficult, especially in Nigeria. Because you have a business idea and because you have some small capital does not mean you should be an entrepreneur. A lot of you, most people, they don't even know how to sell. They don't know how to manage people. They don't know how to attract people. How are they going to have a successful business? They fight everybody. So not everybody, I mean, everybody can be like an Instagram entrepreneur. That's easy. Take pictures of something on your Instagram, tell people to pay an account, use a dispatch to call and do it. I mean, that's fine. That's okay. But we're talking about, you really want to run a business. You want to make 100 million naira per annum. You want to make $1 billion per annum. That's a lot of work. You want to move from 1 million naira per annum to 10 to 100 million to $1 billion. Now your head must be correct. Right? So this is the curriculum from NID. So we're going to go through it. Okay. Business is the practice of what? Making one's living. You have to produce or buy and sell. Okay. Registration. There's somebody on the call. His name is Shoaib. If you want to register a business, it will help you. A lot of people have registered businesses. They can't run a successful business. Registering a business is the first step, but it's only the first step. Out of 1,000 steps. There are 1,000 different steps you need to take, right? Okay. A business is liable to pay tax. Business must pay tax. Okay. When you say an enterprise, all right, it's got to be beyond one person. Okay. So when we talk about the business enterprise and the social enterprise, and then there's also the public sector is also an enterprise. So commercial, NGO or charity, and then you've got the public sector. They are all enterprises. Commercial organizations are enterprises. NGO, they are also an enterprise, they're also an organization. And then public institutions are also organizations. Okay? I put this slide there because all of you, life is about value. And once again, we're building, I mean, I don't know whether they've shared the, what's that thing called? They've shared the, I don't know if Edith or James, I hope you've shared the, I'm a proud, the sticker, the electronic sticker, I'm a proud student of Transformation College. I don't know who is here. Who's here? James or Edith or Mercy? Who's here? Any of you? Any of you here? James?
Yes, sir.
Right. Share those things in the chat room. I'm a proud student.
Right, sir.
And if you're a student, then something embed this thing inside. That this life is about value. You need to put this page in your brain because this will help you significantly. This is going to help you significantly. This is going to help you significantly. Your entire life is about value, everyone. This whole life is about value. It's about value. Your ability to provide value. So if you're in this line of work with your business or you as a person, because I mean Jay-Z said that I am the business. Said I'm not in one of those Jay-Z things. He said I'm not said I am the business. So you and I, we need to be able to provide value. Value to the lives of people. We provide value tied to number 2. Each of you that you're here, you as a person and your business, you should be providing value. I provide, in my day, in the Transformation College, we provide value from number 2. In my commercial businesses, we provide value from number 3, number 8, number 9, and number 10. In my vocation, I provide value from a number. Did I say 10? No, I meant 12. In my business, in my business, it is 12. In my vocation, I provide value from number 1 and number 10. So each of you we must provide value. Our businesses must provide value. Our organizations must provide value. As individuals, we must provide value. Right? You must completely. Maybe when you make clothes, you provide value tied to number 5 so that people can go out, they can look nice on Saturdays. Maybe. So that they can go somewhere and people can respect them. But we all need to be able to provide value. And the earlier you can provide value in life, the better for you. I've seen 60-year-olds who struggle to provide value. So life is about value. Life completely is about value. People are drawn to you, they're drawn to your organization, they're drawn to you as a person based on the kind of value that you're able to provide. And if your business cannot provide value, then your business is going to close down. Okay. If your business cannot provide value, then your business is going to close down. If you cannot provide value, you're going to be hampered as a person. And this is not all. I just wrote this during our training class. It's about value, the value we can provide to everybody all around us. Life is primarily about value. Okay, this is another concept that is very useful. We'll take a break soon. What is the unique selling point of your business and for you as a person? What is your unique selling point? So you should start to write these things down. If you're a student of Transformation College, especially if you're in the business informatics class, because me, I'm not the HOD for technology, but I'm the HOD. But I'm the HOD. For business informatics. This is my course. All right. The IT course is nice, but this one is my own course. I love this course because it's the course that typifies what I do. Because my day job is a combination of business and technology. I don't do just business. It's business and IT that I do. And that's the title of this course. So that's why I love this course. It's business and IT. Okay, so what is your unique selling point? What you do well? What do you do better than others? What you do well? What people want from you? What others can do as well as you do? There's a problem when people want to go abroad. They don't have any unique selling point. They don't have anything that they can do better than the people abroad. So they just go there, hoping that the environment will give them all that they need. Okay? What makes you unique as a person? What makes your business unique? What makes your organization unique? You think I'm joking when I'm saying that we're going to produce better graduates than Covenant University? I'm serious. Serious, I'm thinking about the thing every day, planning it. All right. I like this better. What your business does well, what people want, what your competition is unable to do, then you find your unique selling point or the unique selling point of your business. Every business that I'm involved with as of today, we have a unique selling point. We work towards having a unique selling point. We learn how to do things properly. We ensure that the things we know how to do, they meet what our customers want. And then we make sure that what we know how to do, we do better than the competition. Because there's always competition in business. You can't take that away. So as you're here, some people are also in another class in another place. Some people are in ICANN Center right now. Some people are in somewhere where they're doing Chartered Institute of Personnel Management. Okay? So you have to have a unique selling point as a person. And even if you're age 15 or 16, even if you're age 15 or 16, you can have a unique selling point. You can start working towards your unique selling point. Okay. All right, let's move on very quickly. Not everybody should become an entrepreneur. I'm telling you, at least not in Nigeria. This environment is very tough. This environment is a very tough environment. It has the highest amount of opportunities globally. Nigeria has highest opportunity for anything you're trying to do. Trying to do some business out of Canada, the opportunity in Nigeria is way more. Or in Africa is way more. However, the challenges in Africa, especially Nigeria, is also way more than what you have any other place in the world. So, as much as the opportunities are there, you also have to be aware of the challenges. So, if you're somebody that you've been able to figure out how to overcome those challenges and to take possession of the opportunities, then welcome to my side of the world as an entrepreneur. Welcome. But if you're not certain, my brother, my sister, my guy, Michumina, if you're not sure that you have the personality for this, then go and join an existing organization or an existing entrepreneur. That's my advice. It doesn't mean you should not know about this. Doesn't mean you should not be aware of this and all that. No, you should. But it's a tough job to become an entrepreneur. It's not fanciful. People make it sound like, oh, like it's fancy. There's nothing fanciful about this. There's absolutely, it is tough work to be an entrepreneur. Like really tough work. The number of businesses that they will make them pack out of their building because they can't pay their rent. It's very tough. But for some of you, you will definitely become entrepreneurs. Then you have to learn how to do it. You're going to learn how to do it. You've made up your mind you're going to do it. I made up my mind to go that way for the rest of my life. So you've made up your mind to go this way, then you have to learn how to do it and to do it properly. One area you need to resolve. You need great products. You need to be certain there's a market. You need to be a great planner. You need to be very disciplined. I can tell you the biggest challenge is your ability to be able to market effectively and to sell. I told you I closed the company that we're almost making $1 billion. I closed it down because of my inability to manage my taxes. I closed the company down. All right. So, but yeah, for definition purposes, entrepreneurship and who is an entrepreneur. Okay, you can have innovators that work within an organization. They don't necessarily have to start a business. Okay, um, so of course we've talked about profit. Some of you need to come up with nice startups, technology startups. I mean, I wish I was 16. I wish I was 15. I wish somebody took me through this when I was age 15 or 14. I wish. I wish somebody started teaching me these basics at age 15 or 16. Young people can read, so you should go and look for a book called The Lean Startup. Everybody, James, you can check the book out and put it in the chat room. The Lean Startup. The Lean Startup. The Lean Startup. The Lean Startup. So you can create a startup. I mean, Paystack is a global organization. Flutterwave is a global organization. GT Bank is a global organization. Then businesses. I've been working in Ghana for about 15 years. And I plan to be there at least for another 25. After that, I dare say another 30. At least from my own plan. I just need to commit it into God's hands. So these are some industries in the market. So if you say you're a business person, then which of these industries is yours? Because you can't, I mean, you have to fit in somewhere, isn't it? Which industry is yours? And how do you plan to become big in your industry? Which industry is yours? And how do you plan to become big in your own industry? Which industry is yours? You that you want to go into business, which industry do you want to focus on? Me, I'm in two primary industries. Everything that I do is primarily inside of two industries. In number 3, and I'm in number 16. That's it. Those are the only industries where I exist as of today. I tried my hands in number 14. It didn't really work. Maybe you can also put me in number 8. But 8 is broadly speaking. But specifically for me, I'm in number 3 and number 16. Just like when you want to go to school and you want to tailor your career, you're tailoring your career for where? Okay. So you need to be in a certain industry. You can't be talking about business or entrepreneurship and you don't know what industry where you fit in. It doesn't work that way. You have to be in a certain industry. You have to know what industry where you fit in. So what's your industry? Where do you play as of today? Where do you hope to play? Where do you plan to play? Where would we fit in? Accounting firms. Number 8. Where will we fit in? Consulting firms. Number 8. Where will we fit in? Architecture companies. Maybe number 12. Where do you fit in? What is your industry? All right. These are the domains of entrepreneurship. These are the domains of, we're going to go for a break now. These are the domains of entrepreneurship. Many things are involved. So, I mean, I've already spoken. All this one is just plenty story. Many things are involved. How do you innovate? I mean, can 14-year-olds and 15-year-olds innovate? Yes, and easier for them to innovate than 50-year-olds or 55. Those ones are we're stuck. It's very difficult for, what's that thing? Can an old dog learn new tricks, right? Older people struggle to innovate. Experience is both an advantage and a disadvantage. Experience is both ways. Experience makes you rely purely on the past. It doesn't really give you the nerve to go into the future. That's what experience means. It's good because anything that's got to do with the past, you know it. But it also holds you back from being able to go into the future. Most people, their problem is their experience. Experience doesn't allow them to move forward, doesn't allow them to try out new things. So when we talk about innovation, I like this thing because you have innovation from 10 different perspectives. Innovation from 10 different perspectives. You can innovate around your process, your channel, the way you engage your customers. You can innovate around your brand, your product. Young people can help you innovate. Old people don't know, they don't really get, I mean, God forbid that, people are talking about dating and they'll be like, how did you meet the person? Modern day, I'll hear that he slid into my DM and now you people are married. I'm like, how did you even slide into somebody's DM? What's the process of doing that? Like, people get married because they met each other on Instagram. How does that even make any sense? So my experience is cheating me. God forbid that I want to date. I'll be completely confused. I won't know how to do it. I'm like, what does DM mean? But young people, they're smart, they're sharp, they can create new things. If I buy iPhone 16, I'm going to literally need a manual to read to understand how to use it. But young people, they'll just fiddle with the thing and intuitively they get it. Experience has an advantage, the advantage of the past. Innovation is about the future. It's about being brave. It's about being able to just say, you know what, we can try this thing out. We can go in this particular direction. We can try an alternative approach to this. A young person can get up from Nigeria, say, I'm going to go and explore the markets in Cotonou, in Benin Republic, or something. An old person is not going to do that. Like, where will I sleep? What will I eat? What about if it doesn't work out? We will come up with 20 ways by which that thing is not going to happen. A young person is going to look at it and say, well, let's be old and young in your approach to life. You can be old in your age. So you can be old and still innovate. Try out new things, try out new products, try out new channels, try out new markets, try out new things. But there are many ways by which you can innovate. You can change the channel, you can change your brand, you can rename your brand, you can decide you're going to offer something for free. You can do things differently. Yeah, I want somebody to meet me at the airport in New York and say to me that I'm a proud student of Transformation College. Then I would have gotten all my reward. I want somebody to become the CBN governor and say that I'm a proud student of Transformation College. That's the reward I'm looking for. I want people to form an alumni on LinkedIn for Transformation College. And then all of them they're talking about their achievements globally. So we can innovate. I run an organization called Training Heights. Transformation College is a complete different entity from that organization because the model have done a lot of innovation around Transformation College. The product, the services, our brand, that's why we named it differently. The channel by which we do our work, the way we engage our customers, our students, the structure of the organization in itself, changed a lot of things from Training Heights. All right, this is the last thing, and then we go for our break. Everybody, this is it. Everybody, these are the skill sets you must have. In this your lifetime, this your life, you need all these skill sets. I wrote these things down in a training class. We were in a class and I wrote these things. Thank God I wrote them already, so I don't have to write them again today. If you can't check the video, and I'll put the link for the video in the chat room. The one I did, I think in January or February. I wrote these things in one of the classes. And in your professional life, I'm not talking about your spiritual life or your emotional life, but in this your professional life, you need these skill sets. And it doesn't matter whether you're age 100, you still need these skill sets. I've been doing professional work for about 22, 23 years. And I'm still pursuing these skills myself. I still want to get better with regards to everything that is on this screen. Till I leave this earth, professionally speaking, I'm going to pursue getting better with regards to these things. So you that you're 14 or 15 or 16 or 17, or you that you're 55, this is more like my own range. And now let me tell you the big challenge here. Your inability to master these skills is what is standing against you in this life and in business. It is your inability to master the things here that is standing against you professionally and in the area of your business. You that you're here, you're struggling somewhere here. You know, they say to your own self, it should be true, isn't it? To thy own self. You negotiate badly, you don't have great persuasive skills, you're a poor marketer, you don't know how to network, you're not out there networking, you sell badly, you're shy, you run away from the public, you don't stand in front of people, you struggle to manage your time, you're a poor leader, you don't set clear goals, you're a poor communicator, your presentation skills are poor, your writing skills are not great, your creative thinking is something here is what is standing against you professionally and also tied to your business. You need to have this on your wall. How do I build this? Me, I'm still building. What about you? You're younger than I am, or you work less. You don't have an excuse. I'm still building. I'm still building. When people call me for their keynote address, nobody is paying me more than $1 million right now. Meanwhile, there are people in this country that if you call them for 1 hour of keynote address, they're paid at least 10 million bucks. They're human beings like that. There's somebody that was gave a keynote address and they gave him a $50,000 in Nigeria. Spoke for an hour. Nobody's offering me more than an hour for a keynote address. More than $1 million. Well, people that went to school with me, some of them are already getting 10 million bucks from a keynote address. So I'm building. My eyes are on the ball. I'm building. I'm getting better every day, every week. Financial, accounting, project management, risk management, social media, the business, we're getting better. Transformation College, we're increasing, we're getting better. Every week, we're sitting down. So if you're going to succeed as a person in your career, and definitely as a business and as an entrepreneur, you're going to need to score 70% cumulative on this page. Most people will score 5 or 10. Most people on this call, you had less than 5 or 1%. Everybody put your score in the chat room as we go for break. What is your score here objectively? Me, I'm definitely on 60 as a person. I haven't scored 70 yet. When I start to get 10 million bucks, all right, for my keynote address, or when our office is in 3 or 4 African countries and we're profitable, across 4 countries in Africa, then I'll put myself at 70 and above. But for now, I'm at about 60 cumulative on this page. Everybody put your skills in put your score in the chat room. Objectively. Objectively, what is your score? Let us go for break. We're going to go for a 30-minute break and then we'll come back. Quickly, everybody, objectively in the chat room. I want, if you're here with me, quickly come to the chat room, give yourself a score. All right, Mayawa says 30. Okay. All right, what about the others? Quickly, everybody, quickly answer me. Let's go for break. We're going to go for a 30-minute break and then we're going to come back. Everybody, Taiwo says 15. All right, Adedoyin says 20. Adejoke says 20. All right. Oyedikaji says 40. All right. Even if it's 1%, there's no shame in that. That's why you're here. There's no shame in that. Nobody's going to. There's no shame. There's no shame in that. And that's the thing, because you're an adult and you're 60 years old or 55 or you work for 30 years already, doesn't mean you're going to score 20% on that page. Trust me. Trust me. So, because you can't give yourself a score without clear evidence. Where is the evidence that you've been able to do these things? It's not a theoretical score. It's not a score based on, I just feel like, I think I know the definition and I can find the definition of these things on Wikipedia. That's not what you're talking about on Google. I'm saying, where have you been able to demonstrate these things? Where have you been able to demonstrate these things? Where is the evidence that you understand sustainability? It's very personal. Because if you're able to do that right, then you're able to move forward. All right, people. Thank you very much. Let us go for break. It's definitely been great hanging out with all of you. I've enjoyed myself. All right. Some of you need to check your scores properly because some of you are giving yourself scores. I said I'm 60. Me, I am 60. I am 60 and at least I have $1 billion revenue under my management every year. Right? At least I have a billion naira under management every year. All right, people, thank you very much for your time. Let's go for a 30-minute break. The time now is 12:15 there, about 12. So I'll start exactly at 12:45. Let's stretch our legs. Let's get water. I still have some very important things for all of us, things that are important and critical with regards to our career and with regards to us being great entrepreneurs. Still have some very important things to speak about. Thank you, everyone. See you in 30 minutes exactly. Thank you, everyone. All right, everyone. Thank you very much. All right, everyone. Thank you very much. So, for those of you that plan to be, well, whether you plan to be an entrepreneur or you're going to join an existing one, there are many parts of a business that needs to be managed. I tell some of the senior people who work with me that there are many parts of an organization that needs to be managed. But so if you're going to be an entrepreneur of some sort, there are many parts of an organization that needs to be managed. You can't manage one portion at the detriment of the other one. There are many parts of a business that needs to be managed. And you that you're a young person that is planning to be an entrepreneur, you're already one. There are many parts of a business that needs to be managed. Okay, so I can even add, I can talk about, let me say, for I'm gonna put procurement and supply chain, something like that. So there are many parts of an organization that needs to be managed. So you as a young person, you have to start thinking like this. Your brain needs to start to work like this as a young person. You have to start looking at what it is that you're being taught as part of this your transformation college certificate or diploma course, and start to say, how do I get everything here right? Do I have a product? Do I know how? Do I have a product or a service? Do I know how to deliver it? Do I know how to brand my organization or brand myself? Hmm? Do I know how to sell and how to manage? So here, when I put um, here like this, I mean customer slash account management. Do I know how to sell? Do I know how to do customer service? Do I know what is involved with these things? Do I really understand the concept of customer service? How do I do customer service? Do I know about these things? I'm, s- I plan to run a business, or I'm already running a business. Am I confident that I understand all these parts of a business? I use this slide internally within my own organization when I'm speaking to some of the senior people who manage one business or the other for me. I tell them all the time, there are many parts of a business to be managed. So if you ask me, are some parts more important than others? I don't know. Of course, you can say, what will happen? What you might want to start to think about is maybe as a business person, as a young person, that is thinking, what can be okay? Maybe this is a way to maybe which portion of this whole thing can easily be outsourced? Anybody? Can you outsource accounting? Absolutely. Can you outsource hiring and some of those things? Possibly. But you can't outsource the management of the people. You can outsource the hiring, but you have to manage them yourself. Can you effectively outsource marketing and sales? I don't know. So when we're talking about that university course called biz admin, am I right? These are the things that business administration is meant to cover. Ideally, right? Let me add another one to it. Let me say um, all right, people. These are the parts that need to be managed in a business. So if you're a student of Transformation College and you plan to graduate from this 10-week course, you need to have an understanding of all these things. So we're going to ask you something in your exam. What do these things mean? Why should somebody who's here studying entrepreneurship, why should you know about these 15 things? By the time you're dealing with you'll see this is where your economics this is where your economics and accounting knowledge comes in. Number 7. People think that number 14 is not important, but it's very important. The management of your facilities. If you have a factory, if you have an office, if you're not getting repeat customers, you need to visit number 10. How do you do admin and logistics in your company? Can your business grow without number 15? What's the purpose of number 12? How do you manage all your people will call it enterprise? If you run a business here and you're on this call, if you're running a business and you're on this call, will you say you're on top of these things? A business that wants to grow needs to take these things into consideration. A small business, a bigger business will come and eat up your entire market share. You know, Amala business is different in Abuja than Lagos and Ibadan. You know, in Abuja, the people who do Amala there, where we go to eat Amala, Iya and one of those other places, those people, they make millions per day. Like millions daily. On the average, you walk out of the place, you would have spent about 3,000 to 4,000 or 5,000 as a person, maybe 3K or 4K. And in a day, those people attend to about 400 or 500 people, or on some busy days like 1,000 people per day. So if you multiply about 4K or 5K, multiplied by about 400, how much is that? 2 million. And I'm just trying to be conservative. Some of those people make as much as 4 million bucks in their Amala business per day. And they open 6 days a week. So some of those organizations that are selling Amala, just like, what's the one in Yaba? What's that one? White House. No, there's nothing you can buy in White House. It's about 4,000 naira. So they might look like, oh, these people, they're illiterates, but trust me, man, they've nailed some of these things down. They have one woman who is doing quality assurance over Amala. They know how to market. They know the word of mouth. Look at them. They're in their shop who's selling Amala on the train in a training class. Marketing for them. They know about word of mouth. If you used to go to Unilag in those days, it's a different Amala place for that White House. They refurbished everywhere is so. I can tell you that those organizations they're taking these things into consideration. Now I can bet that you can order the amala and give it to dispatch and then they'll bring it to you. Those people they are on top of the accounting, those are very sustainable businesses. Do you know how long White House has been in Yaba? At least me, I've known that place since I had 5 years. Very sustainable amala business. You think that because they're illiterate, they're doing these things, so they have their own ways of doing them. I think if they don't pay tax, they will not have come to close them down. Maybe they even give the tax people amala to eat or something, but so a company has many parts to be managed. You as an entrepreneur, that's what we are teaching on this course. As a 15-year-old, as a 16-year-old, you want to go into hoodie business, you want to do one business or the other. You and your friends are already thinking about, okay, how can we do this? How can we do that? You need to have these things clear at the back of your mind. This is going to give us an office. Where do we book? So the idea is not to really teach entrepreneurship. The idea is to teach people how to be successful entrepreneurs. Since 9 out of every 10 of those businesses are going to close. So the idea is not just for people to blindly open businesses. That's not the idea. Just go and open it. Don't worry. Business is selling. Just go and join them. That's not the idea. The idea is that you know about entrepreneurship. So if you decide you're going to go to become an entrepreneur, you can be successful at doing it. That's the idea. So please take this away with you. A business has many parts to be managed. In a university, the person that will be teaching you entrepreneurship is not an entrepreneur. That's why I don't teach all the courses. I must have real life experience in one area if I'm going to teach it. That area has to be my job, it has to be my function, one way or the other, so that I can teach it experientially and also based on my exposure, not just tied to what is written in the textbook. A business has many parts to be managed. You have to manage money, you have to manage people, you have to do marketing, you have to do sales, you have to do finance and accounting, you have to do HR, you have to do procurement, you have to do customer service. If I was building a course for a university, a 4-year course, I would just ensure that every semester over a 4-year period, they will do about 4 of this every year. They will do deep dive into 4 of this at least every year. To year 1, they can do the first 4. Year 2, they do the next 4. Year 3, they'll do the next 4. Year 4, like that. Now, when the students are leaving and they say that I've studied the administration of a business, because a business has many parts to manage. In my day job, I have to manage everything that is here. Everything. I have people working with me on different portions of it, but I have to be on top of everything that is here. I can tell you about our board, I can tell you about our strategy, I can tell you about our plans, I can show you the documents, I can tell you about risk. I have to be on top of these things. You too, like you plan to be an entrepreneur or you're an existing entrepreneur, you have to be on top of these things. You're going to study a sense of these things in accounting, you're going to study a sense of these things in economics, you're going to study these things one way or the other. By the time we get to year 2, by the time we're studying management, these same things will keep reoccurring. What does compliance mean? What do you have to comply to? Are you a licensed organization? Do you have a license from CBN, from NCC? Very important. Let me move on. Okay. SWOT analysis. Everybody, you have to do your own SWOT as a person, and you also have to do the SWOT for your business. You as an entrepreneur, today I'm teaching entrepreneurship. You have to do personal SWOT before you do company SWOT. Because as an entrepreneur, you're going to transfer your own strengths and weaknesses onto the organization that you have formed. Unfortunately, if you're a poor planner, most likely you're going to transfer it to your organization. If you're somebody who forgets things a lot, you're going to transfer it to your organization. If you're an anyhow type person, you're going to run an anyhow type business. If you're somebody who likes to procrastinate, you find out in your business, that's what's happening. If you're not structured, find out that that's how your business will be. So in this entrepreneurship class, you need to start with what exactly is your own SWOT. Once again, in your exam, you're going to see this. It's impossible not for you not to see this. But I urge you to start with what are your own strengths as. It's a very painful process, you know. We like to see things in others. We don't see it in our own selves. So it's very painful for people to look at their own weakness. Like, I am weak in this area. I make poor decisions. I don't get things done quickly. Whatever your weakness is. So you can also then look at what makes your business strong, or what will make it strong if it's prospective. And what are the things that might make it weak, or if you have it already. What are the opportunities that exist for you as a person in Nigeria, globally? Can you get a remote job and be paid $10 an hour in Nigeria, and you work for 8 hours a day? That's $80 per day. In Nigerian money of today, $80 is what? Isn't that like 100K or more? So can I get paid $5 a day in Nigeria? And I work 8 hours, that's $40. You can't pay somebody $5 a day for 8 hours in the US. You go to jail. That's about half the minimum wage. You're going to go to jail. Or you can earn $5 a day and you work for 8 hours a day. That's $40. In Nigeria of today, do you know how much $40 is? $8 is like 60K. If you do that for 20 days, do you know how much that is? You've already earned $1 million. Our economy is in shambles. Only God can help. Right now, if you get paid, let's say $8, $1 an hour, and that's $8. Do you know how much that is? 8 times 15 means what? $10 in Nigerian money is what? 1,600 or something like that. No, I said $10 is 10,000. $10 is what? 16. It's 16K. Yes, 16K. Thereabout. So the economy is It's not great at all. So, what are the opportunities and the threats? What opportunities exist for you as a person? And what is threatening you from doing well? Same thing. What is threatening your business? What is it that if you don't stay on top of it, it's going to cause your business serious problems? All right. This is another thing everybody needs to know. And you're going to do some of this in your economics class. So we've talked about SWOT. Now let's talk about PESTLE. Apart from you seeing these things in your exam, these are things you also need to know. What are the political factors that are affecting my organization or that can affect my organization? What are the economic issues that can affect my organization? What are the social issues? Artificial intelligence will come under technology, legal, and then the environmental issues that my organization needs to stay on top of. SWOT and PESTLE. SWOT analysis, PESTLE analysis. Strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Political, economic, social, technological, legal, and environmental factors. This is an exam page. When you ask anything more than what is on this page, we just say which of the following are political factors, which of the following are economic factors, which of the following are social factors, which of the following are technological factors. But we'll now bring some of the technological things, we'll bring them under economy, we'll bring some of the social, we'll bring them under political. Just so that we're certain that you've actually taken the time to study this slide. So how do we differentiate the things that are social from political or social from economical? Okay. This is another one. And these things are not even difficult at all. The title for today is Entrepreneurship. And if you are going to be a successful, this is not a government institution entrepreneurship course. Just run the people through something and tell them to get out of the class, give them the certificate, and the people don't know how to make their business successful. The idea behind entrepreneurship is to run successful businesses. Businesses that can be there for a long time, being profitable and hopefully becoming national or global entities that contribute to the environment, that hire employees. My mom used to work for Cadbury. I'm forever grateful to them. So I want to create a similar organization to Cadbury. The Cadbury helped me to go to school. Cadbury helped my parents. So you and I need to create successful businesses, not just businesses. Not businesses that 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, we just can't move forward. We're dancing around the same circle. That's not the idea. When it says I run a business, the issue is not anybody can run a business. Anybody can start a business. The issue is that is your business successful? Are you able to sort out your bills? Are you able to sort out all your costs? Are you able to retain some of that money as profit? So anybody who's planning to go to university to study business admin, study accounting, any of those business courses, these are fundamental things that you need to know. there's the threat of new entrants into your business. Your customers, they have strength. They can force you to do something. They can come together. How do you make sure that you're on top of competition, new entrants? You can see in the middle here is rivalry among existing competitors. There's always somebody that wants to eat your breakfast. There's somebody that needs all your clientele. So your clients, your customers, they have a choice. They can come to eat amala at your place, or they can go to Sweet Sensation. What is the advantage that you're giving to them? Why they will always look at it to say, I'd rather take my girlfriend to amala than to Sweet Sensation. I want to take my family for a treat. Which treat is better? Ice cream or pounded yam? So there's competition. There are new people coming into the market. Your buyers have powers. If all your buyers come together and say, don't buy, that thing that happens on Instagram, on social media, everybody will say, no, this person did me bad. One celebrity will say, oh, when we went for AMVCA or one of those things, this celebrity did me bad. So please don't buy from that. And everybody stops buying from that person. It's the power of your buyers. Better make sure you don't offend one big celebrity. If a person goes online and they have a following, nobody's going to come after that. They have a huge following. Nobody's going to come to you any longer. Just like your supplier. In my line of work in IT, your supplier is your make or break. Your supplier is your make or break. If somebody, imagine that a bank gives you a business, so say, go and bring me 100 computers, and you go to the supplier and you tell Mr. Supplier, I have a work order from a bank. I don't have the money. Can you give me this 100 computers? Let me take it to them. You can even take it to them yourself. And they promise that they're going to pay me in 60 days. I promise you, I'm going to give you some post-dated checks, blah, blah, blah. I'm even going to take you to the bank to sign something that immediately the money from the bank pays me into my account. They need to pay you first before I get anything. And the supplier says, that's fine. Give me post-dated checks, give me a contract, collect the computers, go and supply. Are you able to do that business? And then the bank, the MTN then says to you, I'm going to give you an order for 1,000 computers. And then you're able to go back to your supplier and the supplier grants you credit. Your success in life is completely tied to that supplier. You should be praying for that supplier. You should take their name to the church, to the mosque, and be thanking God for them. You should put their name inside of your Bible and be prophesying good things unto them, because your supplier can make you rich. If you have a good supplier, you can manage your relationship with them. They can literally make you rich. They can be the line between being successful and otherwise. Lastly, here, that's why this thing is by somebody called Professor Michael Porter. Go and check him out online. Professor Michael Porter. He has written all sorts of books. That's why this is named after him. Michael Porter's 5 Forces. The last one here is substitute products and services. And you have to be very mindful of substitutes. You go to somebody and say, oh, I sell you hoodies. And the person said, okay, dude, I'm not young. I don't want a hoodie. I'm in Nigeria. It's barely cold, but it was cold at some point in time this year. But this hoodie is not going to be very useful. I want a t-shirt. I want Ankara, I want Buba and Shokoto. So you have to be aware of the substitute products and services. You go to somebody's house, you say, oh, I sell washing machines. And then the person says that I'd rather use my hands. Or you know that thing that they use abroad a lot, dishwasher. Your business is tied to selling dishwashers. You know, medium income households don't use dishwashers. I don't know about you. I don't even have one in my own house right now. I never had one in my parents' house. Like dishwasher. So if you come up and you say, oh, you know, every home needs a dishwasher. Okay, I can tell you're lying or you're confused or you're deluding your own self. Not everybody needs a dishwasher. So what are the substitute products and services to what you sell? You better be aware of them. If you're not aware of them, you will build your entire business on an assumption, on a lie. You think there is a market. You presume there is a market. You assume there's a market. There's no real market. The people will rather go for the substitute. They will rather go for the substitute. So you have to be mindful of this thing. This is a brilliant model. If you're an existing or a prospective entrepreneur, you should know about this. You as once again as a 15-year-old, this is not too difficult for you to figure out. Spot those 5 forces. You and your friends can sit in a room rather than talking about musicians. All of you can start to say, let's form a business. I know it says threat of substitute products is the alternatives. You say, oh, I sell waistcoats. Do people really want to wear waistcoats? You sell it with a jacket. I don't even think I have one waistcoat. I must have had one. Maybe I must have had one when I was 10 or something. Not too long ago. Maybe for some uncle's wedding or something. I was what are those things that those boys do? Is it page boys or something like that? All right. So, anyways, this is another very important model. So I started from SWOT, PESTLE, Fountain's 5 forces, and then this one. There is no entrepreneur that should not know about this. Everybody? Every entrepreneur should know about the business that you're here. Some of you that your businesses are struggling. It's because you're unaware or you haven't taken these things into keen consideration. You take these things into keen consideration, you do well. You say nobody should go into business if they don't have answers to these 9 things. That's what Business Model Canvas says. Check it out on YouTube, on Google, on AI, and check it out everywhere. You must know who your key partners, the partners that you need, the key activities you carry out, the resources you need, the value you provide, the relationships you need to build or you need to maintain, the channels that you need to enable to be able to serve your customers, the segment of the customers that you want to focus on, where your money is disappearing to in terms of your cost and your revenue. And you know the difference between those 2 things at the bottom is your profit. And you can only spend profit. You know, most people don't understand that. You really cannot spend your revenue because you need that revenue to keep running the business. The only thing you can use to buy car or marry new wife or pimp old wife, right? And pay school fees. The money you need for that is profit, not revenue. Revenue belongs to the business. It doesn't even belong to you. It's only profit that you can spend. And if you have a business, you have to run costs. So if you're a young person that you want to run a business, put me on your board for free. I'll advise you. I'll give you validated advice from somebody who has failed in the past and who probably still fails in one area or the other, but who has also succeeded. That's very important. I'll guide you. I'll give you validated real life, not theoretical or AI answers. Alright? So if you're a young person now, you want to build an app, you want to go to market, put me on your board for free. Alright? You succeeding is going to be enough joy for me. So once again, so go and come up with the one for your own business. What is your own? This is an assignment for everybody that has a business and everybody that is thinking about a business. Whatever business you're thinking about, this is the assignment you need to do. You need to open Microsoft Word or PowerPoint or Excel and start to type into it. Who are the partners that I need to be successful? What are the key activities that I need to excel at? What are the resources that I need? Why would anybody come to me? What's the value proposition that I have beyond what others have? What customer relationships do I need to really build? In what segments? What are the various channels that by which I need to use to serve my customers? What are the things that make up my costs? And how can I make revenue? How can I meet my targeted revenue? How do I do that? Think about a business. This is the assignment for everybody. You must submit this, right? James, share a business model canvas template. You'll find all sorts of templates online. You can share it in the community. Business model canvas template. Everybody, you must fill this either for your existing business or for a prospective business. That means you're not yet in that business, but you're going to take the time and the pain to come up with the right answers, to at least start the thinking process. Business model canvas and SWOT. It's compulsory. Everybody must submit this as the assignment. What is your own personal SWOT? Because your SWOT is going to be projected onto your business. And then, what is the business model canvas for your existing or prospective business? Okay, very important. There's also something called Potter's value chain. I don't really have to worry about this, But every business has a value chain. What you need to do, the units, the departments, the activities you need to carry out to be successful. Also, if you go online, you'll see sample business model canvas. Everybody go online. If you're a fashion house, put sample business model canvas for a fashion company. If you're a marketing agency, do that. You'll see. Just put sample business model canvas for a certain industry, for an accounting firm, for a laundry business. So there are many samples. You'll find them online. Sample business model canvas. And also try AI to give you some thoughts. But you have to really think about what is peculiar to your own organization. And do that. Everybody must submit 2 pages in written out in Microsoft Word or PowerPoint. Number one, your personal SWOT. You're thinking that this is you as a person, and you must have at least 5 bullet points under each of those areas. James, please take note. Everybody must submit your personal SWOT and the business model canvas for your existing or prospective business. That is the assignment. Written out in either Microsoft Word or PowerPoint. Submitted. Your SWOT and the business model canvas. It's a thinking process. Businesses for years, but they're still going to struggle to complete this. I promise you. I promise you. Most people are going to struggle to complete this. It's very painful to try to get this right, especially when you want to be very specific. It's a painful process. What customer relationships do I need to excel at? What segments must I be a big player in? What are the activities I need to excel at? What are the resources I need? And how am I going to get those resources? All right. You can go on to AI and say, what is Potter's value chain? What's the significance or importance? So this same Professor Michael Porter, same guy that had these 5 forces, same guy also came up with something saying Potter's value chain. Everybody type it into the AI for your system. What's it, for your WhatsApp? Type it into WhatsApp. Type it into WhatsApp. What is the importance of Potter's value chain to a business? But you can see that even the diagram makes it saying that there are many parts of a business that needs to be managed. That's all it's saying. And if you don't manage everything effectively, you will not be able to deliver your products and your services. You will not be able to deliver on your promises to your customers. And you can see that it says by the time you've added all these activities, it breaks them into primary activities and support activities. It does. It breaks them into primary and then support activities. And look at the edge, it says you must have a margin, you must make a profit. You think your parents know this? Go and sit down with somebody who's running a business. They might not even be able to articulate this thing properly. As a young person, go and help your uncle structure his business. Go and help your uncle. Go and help your mom, your dad, your auntie, somebody, your aunt. Go and help somebody. Tell them that, uncle, let me draw the business model canvas out for your organization. Right? Let me draw the SWOT for your company, for you. Because you only learn by doing. You don't really learn how to do things by listening. You have to do. All right. The last model here is this one called the balance scorecard. Once again, you can use artificial intelligence and ask yourself, what is the importance of balance scorecard to an entrepreneur? You can ask AI these things. What is the importance of what's the importance of balance scorecard to an entrepreneur? I'm not interested in teaching entrepreneurship. I'm interested in raising successful entrepreneurs. I know people who have done businesses for years, but they've never been successful. They barely ever made a profit. They run it for 20, 30 years. They don't have an office that is theirs for 40 years. The business is not sustainable. In the ISO business that I do, there's an organization that was the biggest in the entire country, in Nigeria. I was asking somebody who used to work for the organization 2 days ago that how are they doing? They said they've packed up completely. Said the owner died. That the wife tried to run the business. She didn't know what to do. And then the business, the biggest ISO consulting company in the entire country, is no more. It's gone. It's disappeared. They were never able to scale. They never became global. They never had the structures that allowed them to be a successful business. Biggest ISO consulting company, dead and gone. So, Balance Scorecard says an organization needs to do 5 critical things. They need to have a clear and measurable vision and strategy. They need to be on top of their financials. They need to be on top of their internal business processes. They need to be on top of their of how they manage. Organization needs to continually learn and grow. The people of the organization, the entrepreneur, the owners, the managers, and the entire organization needs to continue. So, once again, let's count. How many models? SWOT 1. Let me type into the chat room. 1 SWOT. PESTLE 2. PESTLE. Some people call it PESTLE. Anyway, you like. I'm not an English teacher. But sometimes when you say PESTLE, people don't even understand what you mean. So, the third one, Porter's 5 forces. But don't go and say PESTLE. Otherwise, when you go for an interview, people will be laughing. Porter's 5 forces being the third one. Business model canvas being number 4. Porter's value chain being 5. Balance scorecard being 6. 6 strategy and business models, right? But your assignment is only tied to 2. The assignment all of you have, and you must submit before Friday. James will provide you with an email address or some place to submit to. All right? Everybody must come up with their own personal SWOT. Here, I don't want you to do it for the business. Do it for as a person. Do it as a person. Either you're an existing or prospective or entrepreneur, do it as a person. I must have about 5 bullet points under each category. But this one, I want you to do it for the business. Either an existing business or a prospective business. You need to do that. So this is your assignment. Learn to ask yourself hard questions. And one of the best models in the world to get anything done is what I call 5 W's and H squared. 5 W's and H squared. That H there, the 2 there is meant to be squared. I'll change it to squared. H squared. Okay. So all of you need, I mean, this is what entrepreneurs are meant to be doing. And maybe, of course, in my own head, even if you're going to make soap, even if you're going to be making, what are those things that they teach people in, they teach men and women groups how to make soap, how to make adire, all those kinds of things. Even if that is the nature of the business, you must still put some science to that business. You must still put some thinking to that business. How can you say you're a woman in business I was telling some of the ladies in my office, like, why are you not an active member of Wimbies? Women, I mean, the name of the organization is called Women in Business. Why are you not an active member? So it doesn't matter whether all you do is that you sell clothes or whatever that thing is, or you make food. The best way to plan anything is to use this model. Why am I trying to do this? What needs to be done? Who's going to do it? When will it be done? Well, where will it be done? How would we do it? And how do we measure it? This is the best planning methodology. The simplest one. Answer these questions. Okay. I don't know why sometimes in Africa we undersell ourselves. We tell 15, 16-year-olds that they cannot do things. Well, 15, 16-year-olds that are in every part of the world, they are doing miraculous things. The ones in the US, they are launching businesses. I mean, even for sustainable development goals, there's stuff that's 15, 16-year-olds are driving conversations globally. They're traveling. United Nations is taking 16-year-olds around the world. Why is it that we look at our 16-year-olds as irresponsible people? Why? The 16-year-olds that get on the plane, they're going for a business meeting. They are pitching their businesses. But in Africa, we look at 16-year-olds like, you will never go university. So we postpone everything to post-university. It's almost like we postpone their lives until they graduate from a university. Everybody needs to be able to write a business plan. Because if you answer all these questions, then you're beginning to come up with a business plan. And that's why first I'm going to encourage people not to become entrepreneurs. That's number one. And I'm then going to say to the ones who have made up their mind that they're going to become entrepreneurs, they have to get it right. They don't have a choice. They have to do it well. They have to get it right. There is no room for failure. They can fail a couple of times, but eventually they have to succeed. So they can fail, they can make mistakes, they can lose money, but they have to be on top of what they're doing. I've lost a lot of money in my lifetime. So if you look at the page to the right, start to think. Next week, that's going to be the assignment. Everybody's going to write some sort of business plan. But that's not important for now. For a prospective business, you say you want to, I mean, the course is an introduction to entrepreneurship. What is introduction to entrepreneurship if you can't write a business plan? What is our vision for our organization, Orlando and Sons Limited? What's our vision? What's our mission? What are the products that we provide? Who are we targeting? What problem are we solving? Answer these questions, my friends, my young friends, and my older friends too. You want to run a business? Be on top of this. This one-page business plan, though, especially the one to my right, that is on the screen to the right. You must answer this. This is the assignment for next week. The one for this week is your personal SWOT and the business model canvas for a prospective business. So I'm not trying to teach you the theory of entrepreneurship. I'm trying to teach you how to become a successful entrepreneur. Are we good? The problem of companies after they've gotten everything right, once they struggle in marketing and sales, they're going to close down eventually. The people who sell the most don't have the best products. I hope you know that. The best architects don't have the highest market share. The best lawyers don't have the highest market share. The best restaurants that cook the best jollof rice do not have the highest market share. There's a place that they ordered jollof rice for me this week because my team, they were doing something there. They now ordered for me smoky jollof. Excellent. So let me make adverts for them since they're my client. So I've never been to their clients to their office, but they're my client anyways. Smoky jollof, check them out. Brilliant jollof rice. They brought it for me, but my wife collected it from me, so I didn't eat it, but I could smell it. She liked it. Everybody likes it. You know the problem? Have you heard of smoky jollof before? No, you've not. Is smoky jollof on the TV? No. Are they on radio? No. Do they have billboards everywhere? No. Do you know who they are? No. Do they have great jollof rice and chicken? Absolutely. Is the price good? Absolutely. Will they deliver? Yes. What's the problem? They are not very known. I learned this the hard way. Marketing is big. Become somebody that can help an organization market its products and services. Become an expert in marketing your own products and services. And most people who own a business here, okay, let me use my business as an example. Let's use Transformation College. What we are doing here, is it great? Absolutely. Are we delivering value? Without a doubt. Does everybody in Lagos State know that we exist? No, they don't. Let's not even talk about Nigeria, though, as a country. What are we doing badly? We're not marketing well enough, hard enough. So they call this the 4 P's of marketing: the product, the price, the place, and how you're promoting it. You need a great product at a great price, easily accessible, but people must know that it exists. This promotion is the problem. In another life, I'll probably be an advertising executive. I'll probably start an ad agency, become a member of AppCon or something like that. Because I've seen that that's one area that companies need help. They need help with advertising and promotion based on their budget, based on their target audience. So if you're on this call and you're an entrepreneur, get marketing right. Get it right for yourself. Get it right for your own organization. Just get it right. Because after you have a great product at a great price that is accessible to the customers, the thing that kills everything is that nobody even knows that you exist. So if you make jalabia and you think that the people in mosques need to wear jalabia, does every mosque in Lagos know that you exist? So these are real issues. And if you're going to be a great entrepreneur, your job is not just to pass a couple of questions for your exam. The job is for you to learn how do you become a successful entrepreneur. All right. They're going to teach you this in finance, because how are you going to be an entrepreneur if you don't know anything about finance? So every entrepreneur, every business manager needs to know something in finance. Everybody, you cannot escape this. So what is an income statement? What is a balance sheet? What is your cash flow statement? What do each of these things mean? How do you calculate them? We're going to share a set of, please, James, remind me that ahead of the accounting class, and also in that accounting class, some Excel templates for managing income statement, balance sheet, and cash flow must be shared. So, what is your asset? What are your liabilities? And what are your net assets or the equity that you have in the business? Equity. And then what is your cash flow statement? Your inflows and your outflows, your bank balances. So if you know nothing in finance, you must know this. Equity. How much equity do you have in your business? So everybody needs to go away with this. You must understand financial statements. So don't take the accounting class, don't play with it. Your income statement, what assets do we own? Do we owe people? Do people owe us? Are we owing taxes? Are we owing VAT? So don't play with the financial accounting class. And next semester, we're going to be doing management accounting. Don't joke with this thing. I wrote this out also. Everybody that plans to run a business or that is running an existing business must have an answer to these things. You're preparing for 2025 and it's not a surprise. What exactly are the areas you need to improve? What are the areas you need to improve? Look at these questions. I can tell you, number 5 and number 6, you can outsource many things. But that number 5 and number 6, is the core capability. You know, I can go to Lagos market. You know, I can start, right now I can start selling shoes, right? Tomorrow morning, I can open something on Instagram. I can go to Lagos, sign up with one of those guys that are inside Lagos, those wholesale guys. I can pay them that they should be sending me pictures of their shoes. They send me the pictures, I post it on Instagram. And I can start selling. The people pay, when they pay, I send the money to the guys in Lagos. The Lagos guys will get a dispatch guy to deliver to the client. I start a business on Instagram, small business, chop business. But when I want to scale, when I want to start doing 100 shoes per week, now that's a different ball game. When I want organizations to start to buy 200 shoes or whatever that thing is, that's a different ball game. Maybe it's because it's end of year and I sell mugs or souvenirs, and I need relationships for me to get a bank like First Bank to buy 1,000 of those things from me. You must have an answer to number 5 and number 6, otherwise your business is going to close down. As a young person, your life is still ahead of you. You can try business. If it does not work, you can move on to something else. Life is ahead of you. It is 60 something year olds and I cannot just be trying just anything. They'll be like, hey. As a young person, if your business does not work, nothing will happen to your heart. But all these older people, all we older people, if something happens, the person will just start having high blood pressure. So this class is entrepreneurship and how people get their ideas for their business, and then they move from just the ideas into running a successful business. That's why we're taking these two classes one after the other. Today, this is what I'm teaching. Next week, Saturday, by the good grace of God, we'll take it further by looking into a business. An entrepreneur is the one that starts. But for it to become a successful business, then you're going to need people. Everybody, look at number 10 on my screen. That is tough. Not everybody should be an entrepreneur. Some people don't have it in them. They don't have the discipline to become an entrepreneur. They can never be successful running a business or starting it on their own because they don't have the discipline to do it. Because you can't run a business and you spend all the money buying clothes or buying cars or buying houses. You won't spend customer money. The money you're meant to use the customer has paid you for their service. You use it and then you use it to go and party. Then what will you tell the customer? Because in a business, it's only your profit really that you can spend. Only your profit. Only your profit. So please, everybody, this is important. It's part of your assignment for next week. This one and the business plan. You see that it's the same set of answers that you're going to need. This one and the business plan. This is for next week. Please, James, take note of that. This is next week's assignment. Everybody must answer this for their business or for their prospective business. Either the existing one or the prospective one. All right. So these are some of the things that we're meant to talk about. I believe I have spoken about them. These are some of the engage, some of this curriculum, therefore, they're just theoretical things. What's a small business? So we have a set of slides that speaks to these types of entrepreneurs. We've spoken about all this. Provide you some more answers to them. Oh, the country needs entrepreneurs. The ones who know what to do. Country definitely needs entrepreneurs. Good, smart ones. The role of entrepreneurship in the society. Okay. Self-employment. That's not bad. Solo and entrepreneur. Yeah, it's not bad. You're self-employed. You make hair for people. And then if you fall ill, then you will make the hair simple and straightforward. If you make hair on Saturdays and Sundays, then one time you have to do something in your church or your mosque on Saturday and Sunday, you won't be able to make any revenue. It's not bad. Next week, we'll also look at Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Rich Dad, Poor Dad. It's not bad to be an employee. I mean, it's definitely safer, and that might meet your personality. Okay. Also, of course, it's possible and decide to start a business because you look for a job and you couldn't find, so you started your own business. It's not a bad motivation. You just need to ensure that you move beyond just the fact that you could not get a job. Okay? Is there a difference between who is an entrepreneur and who's a businessman? A difference. Is there a difference? A business person, an entrepreneur versus a business person. The idea behind entrepreneurship is that you should be looking to scale. And it's not easy to scale, but you should scale. Imagine if Zenith Bank, GT Bank, Dangote, each of them have decided that they were going to remain a small business. Do you know how many people those companies feed? Do you know that the backbone of the entire economy of the country is tied to a few organizations? I mean, it's important that you scale. You're going to need to lead people. So when you say businessman, they kind of mean from almost from an informal perspective on what you're doing. Decision making and steps of the decision making process. How do you make decisions? What guides your decision making? How do you think through the decisions that you make? How do you think through them? You just do them anyhow. You know that thing they say, anywhere belief is. Start from here, you end there. What is a risk? What are the risky scenarios or the threats you should be worried about as you go into the year 2025? God forbid, but it's not impossible for this dollar to become 2,000, but God forbid. I believe I have answered everything on this my screen today. I believe so. I like to believe so. I believe so. Should we be ethical? Yes, we should be. We should be ethical. Be honest. Should be truthful. If you address everything I've spoken about today, and your business should survive, your business should be successful. If you answer everything today. Where can you get business ideas from? All sorts of places. I have a template. I'll look for it. James, you remind me. I have a template for business ideas. I'll look for it. Businesses you can start. But people who don't know, well, before you start a business, ensure that there is a need. There is a validated need, that the people truly need something. Otherwise, you'll be building a business in your mind, then you finish it, you say people are not coming. You go somewhere, you say, oh, people need ashoke. Then you can open a store for ashoke. Then every month you sell 3 or 4. You don't realize that the people who need ashoke, they will either go to the public market, or when they need it in bulk, they know who to go to. So you're in your shop every day, you don't have relationships, you don't know people, nobody's coming to buy bulk you. How many single showcase do you think you're going to be able to sell successfully? So, meanwhile, the action say, I'm an entrepreneur. That's not what we're talking about here. I need you to be a successful one. I need you to be one of those people who say that, we're having a fashion show somewhere in Abuja. I need you to be one of those ones that will say that, we're exporting our gari, that we have found somebody who's going. I mean, I've been looking at some Nigerian businesses in the UK now. Does anybody know those ones that have created jollof rice? And I think Tesco, one of those brands. Please, can everybody help me look for that thing? There's some husband and wife or something like that they now have a jollof rice brand. Like the jollof rice is like noodles type, and you can take it home and throw it into water and cook. Do you know what it means for Tesco to agree to that? Do you know the amount of quality checks? Now you can go to Tesco and buy jollof rice. I mean, if I was living in England, that would be like heaven. Like, because I can cook, but my cooking should only be for myself. And it should be days when I'm at home so that I'm not very far from the restroom. I should not be allowed to cook for the public. I should be arrested if I'm cooking for people. Even my children will not allow me cook. I know how to do a lot of things. Cooking is not exactly one of them. So you can come up with an idea, but make sure that there's a real need for that thing in the marketplace. That there's a real demand for that thing in the marketplace. Okay? But there's still so many businesses. There's still so many businesses. This is directly from the curriculum, everybody. It's directly from the curriculum. How do you get a business loan? Where do you go to? Who's going to help you? If you go to a microfinance, they're going to give you a loan at about 35% or 40 per annum. Most people, that's why most people, when they borrow loans, they're never able to pay because they never really understand it. They don't, we bought a car in my office from one of those loan places that the person had collected loan and of course used this car as collateral and could not, and then told them to take the car. And those ones now wanted to fling the car. And then we went to buy the car. Because most people, they don't understand their business. They don't realize that in their business, they don't make more than 20% profit. After all expenses and all incidentals have been taken out. Then they go to borrow loan at 40% per annum. So they don't understand it. 40% means that on the average, that is almost 4% per month. That means over a 90-day period, you're going to be paying about what? That if you ever exceed that 90-day period, then it starts to accrue not just the interest but penalties. That's why people who take loans, they're hardly ever able to pay back. You have to be an expert at doing marketing research. That is why answering those business plan questions will help you here. Those two sets of questions will help you. A bank can give you a loan. A microfinance can give you a loan. Family and friends can give you a loan. Family and friends can give you a loan. But you have to understand that, the loan is not for you to now start to buy clothes. That's why I started this whole class from your income or revenue versus all your expenses. Most people spend their capital. And you're not meant to spend your capital. That's why I like Igbo people. Igbo people have a natural instinct. That's why I like that Igbo apprentice system. Mwa boy, Mba boy, that thing. You gotta learn work for 10 years, then they now open your own for you. Very important. You have to think about business location, everybody. Don't open your business just anywhere. Location is important. You go and open ice cream store in the place and you start to sell the 1 cup of ice cream for 3,000, where the people are trying to eat. In that place, the rent for the place, average flat is about 500,000, which means that the people, their income is low. Then you're now going to open a business for something that is considered a nice to have, not a must have. You know, there's something called Moscow. Can somebody help me put it in the chat room? Moscow, Moscow, must have, should have, could have, that is not really necessary. Nice to have. So is your business a nice to have? Is your business a nice to have? So for example, as at today, Transformation College is a nice to have for a lot of people. It's a free school and it's still nice to have. But one day the brand is going to grow. It will no longer become a nice to have. It will be a must have, because most employers will expect that you've taken advantage of the free school and that you have some baseline knowledge. One day I'll probably form an alliance with NYSC to ensure that every NYSC graduate goes through our summer program. Maybe one day, someday. So these are some of the key things. This course content is also for year 2, so don't worry too much. It covers both year 1 and year 2. All right, people. Well, we're going to round this up now. People say this about entrepreneurs. That's not true. This is not true. They say this about entrepreneurs. That's not true. That's not true. These are not true things. Okay. Just give me a minute. So without entrepreneurs, you cannot have a society. You definitely cannot have a successful society. So there'll be no jobs without the Dangotes of this world. All people eat. Without the Dangotes of this world. So sometimes I tell myself or I remind myself about 100 different entities, individuals that I have to pay their salaries and they have to go and take care of their children, their families. So sometimes when I get tired or whatever that thing is, I remember and I get on top of things. I get on top of things. Okay? So without the likes of, I mean, what about if Bill Gates? I mean, you and I have to thank God for the day Bill Gates was born, or Mark Zuckerberg. All of us, we use WhatsApp. We should be praying for those people in our churches and in our mosque. How do you create WhatsApp for us to use to communicate without using MTN lines for free? Don't you know what that is? You know, say, oh, they use our data. Yes, I mean they have to get, they have to get something. We should pray for Mark Zuckerberg all the time that God should keep him and protect him. Some of us, we cannot exist without WhatsApp, phone calls, everything. Imagine some people have family abroad. They speak to them 1, 2, 3 hours every day. They sit on the phone. Imagine if you're using MTN calls. People do video calls for hours. Say it's eating your data. Do you know what you pay if you had to pay for that app? Facebook created a very complex application that connects people around the world and allows you to use it for free. You should pray for them. As an entrepreneur, you've got to be very disciplined. You've got to be a very disciplined person. You have to be confident. You have to be smart. You have to be bold. You have to be strategic. You have to be many things. We already talked about skills. I showed you a slide today. The ability to negotiate, the ability to be able to network, the ability to be able to lead others. And you can get all sorts of ideas. You can do your own research. You can get all sorts of ideas from all sorts of places. You can do your own research. There are many things why entrepreneurs will fail. I've spoken about a lot of them. You can't find good people. You can't sell. You don't know what to outsource, what not to outsource. You don't understand the market. You're not sure there's a real demand for your product and your service. You don't have what it takes. You don't have the capital or whatever resource that is needed. That's a recipe for disaster. You will never have all that you need, but at least you need to have some. You need to have leverage. I tell people all the time, you need leverage. What's your leverage? You need to be able to articulate a business plan, and everybody must do that before we finish this course. Once again, the homework is SWOT analysis for yourself and business model canvas for your existing or prospective organization. Okay, so I've shown you what the business plan looks like. This is one of the forms of entrepreneurship: sole proprietorship, partnership, corporation, limited liability company, business name registration in Nigeria, and then public quoted company. So you can do business name, you can do limited liability, or you can become a public quoted company. proprietorship, partnership, corporation. And then you have a okay. Where can you get money from? Can sell shares in your company, can borrow money, can take a loan, commercial loan. Once again, how do you scale? That's something you need to go to look into. If you think you need to scale, how do you successfully scale? How do you successfully scale? All right, people. Okay. I mean, of course, you can have entrepreneurship. I spoke about that. You can have a spin-off, and you can have a franchise business. Oh, franchise is still, I mean, very hard because the franchise means that in that location you're going to do 90% of the work. Of course, the concept of innovation, you have to innovate, and I spoke to you about that earlier. 5 C's of innovation, everybody. What are the 5 C's of innovation? All right. Capability, culture, cash and recognition, customer orientation, and you cut your losses. I mean, okay. Anyways, let's bring this to a beautiful close. So, everybody, give me some feedback. What is your big takeaway from today's session? What is your takeaway? Let's bring this to a beautiful close today. I think we've done enough for one day. We'll be back here next week. Everybody, give me your thoughts. What's your big takeaway from this session today? Let's go home. Let's go. Everybody, quickly. Moscow, thank you very much, Adili, for that. Yeah, I mean, is your business a must have, a could have, a won't have, or should have? So that's important. What else? Any other person? What's your takeaway as we bring today to a beautiful close? Thank you very much for being here, everybody. Taiwo, Covenant, Ayodele, Cosmas, everybody that has been here. Thank you. Otherwise, I would have been speaking to myself. Adedoyin, thank you very much. Adetunji Adejoke, thank you very much. Oyedikachi, thank you very much. Yanolua, Jonathan, Mayowa, Elizabeth, Randolph, thank you very much. What's your big takeaway, everybody? Let's bring this to a beautiful close. All right, your target audience, thank you very much. Entrepreneur, it's not for everyone. It's not that general thing that everybody's, no, entrepreneurship is not for everyone. It's too difficult. might want to join somebody, but if you decide to do it, then just learn all the things you need to learn so that what you do will be successful. So the recording is going to be on YouTube. We'll share it with you. We'll also share the slides. It's not secret. Oh. Yeah, Dele, I mean, there's a lot of things thinking whether you want to join an existing entrepreneur or you want to be the starter yourself. That requires a lot of thinking. Yeah, you want to partner, you want to join, because you need a lot of capabilities if you're going to succeed as a person. Absolutely, TMT. So everybody, please don't forget your assignment, your personal SWOT. You need to type it out. SWOT analysis for you as a person. I'm putting that in the chat room, and then the 9 sections of business model canvas. We call it BMC for your existing or prospective business. Those are the 2 assignments. Thank you. 5Cs. Thank you. Thank you. So once again, I hope you filled the attendance. Hope you completed it. I'm going to be in this class next week. I'm going to be teaching. I'm going to take this further into the business side. So please tell your friends, tell your cousins, tell your enemies, tell your aunties. It's a free class. We're not going to charge you for it. All right. We're not going to charge you. So tell them they should come. They should come. They will learn a lot. They will be better persons for it. I promise. They'll become better individuals by coming to class next week. So something about the class next week will help move people towards their future, towards their desires, towards their plans, especially in readiness for 2025. Something is going to help people in readiness for 2025. So please, I'm also going to take some content. I mean, we'll show you a couple of things when we come next week. So it's not a problem. All right. Once again, thank you very much for your time, everybody. God bless you. Have a great remaining part of your weekend. Thank you very much. Please do your assignment. Oh, yes, you need a lot of planning if you're going to do this well. You need a lot of planning. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate your time. Amen. Thank you, Adele. Thank you very much. Thank you. We'll share the slides with you, and we will see you next week. God bless you. Thank you. Have a great weekend.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Can we all give us a round of applause? Can we give Doctor a round of applause? Can we give Doctor a round of applause? He had done a great job today. That was a great one. That was a great one. And even without going in depth into the whole thing, this is just an introduction class, believe me. So every one of us, we already know what we're expecting in the main class start from next week. So can we just give Doctor a round of applause? Thank you very much, Dr. Orlando Odejide. Thank you very much, sir. We love you. That was excellent. That was a, an excellent one. Thank you very much. We gained a lot. For me, I gained a lot, a lot, a lot, a lot. Your personal, I don't even know there's something called personal SWOT of a thing. I don't know. I only thought SWOT is actually meant for businesses and all of those. But then you said you need to have a personal SWOT as well. If you don't have a personal SWOT, definitely it's going to affect your business. So you start from your own personal SWOT before you move to your business SWOT. So thank you very much, sir. My big takeaway, that is my big takeaway. Thank you very much. So very quickly, I'm going to run through few announcements before we leave the call. So the first announcement, boss, doctor had emphasized about many things that we are to gain in the class. He had emphasized on the about the curriculum, the things we would be learning even in the course of the class. So I don't need to overemphasize that. He has run through a slide that carries all of those. So the next thing I would want to bring our notice to is that there has been a link that is being shared oftentimes on the chat box. So it's a link to our WhatsApp community. Kindly click on the link so that you can join our WhatsApp community. And the reason why we created this community is that every and anything at all, being information and all of those that will be passed across to us, will be done on that particular community. So we would love that every one of us is on that community so that we can carry ourselves along, such as the assignment. We also have to paste it there and all of those. So we all need to be part of the community. Kindly click on the link so that we can all join the community. It's a business management community. So just click on the link, then join. Then for as many of us that have not filled the attendance form, let's kindly click on the link as well. The link is on the chat box. Let's click on the link and join fill the attendance form. So that is that. And then the last thing I'm going to say here is that we should bear in mind that next week, 25th of October, so for as many of us that have not paid our acceptance fee or registration fee rather, pardon me for that word, our registration fee, there might be difficulty in admitting us into classes. So please, if we have not paid our registration fee, let's kindly do so. For Nigerians, the registration fee is for 5,000 naira. Then for Ghanaians is 53 Ghanaian currency. And then for Cameroon, it is 2,000 Cameroon currency. So please, let's take note of that. From next class, there will be a bit of challenge to admit us into classes. In other words, we might not be able to be admitted into the class. So please, let's pay up. So thank you very much for your time today. It has been a wonderful time we've spent together, learning and expounding in knowledge that we've all gathered somewhere else before. So it's wonderful. Believe me, next week is going to be a more powerful one. So I want to say good afternoon to us all, and do have a wonderful weekend. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Can we give ourselves a round of applause for staying true till now? Let's give ourselves a round of applause. Let's give ourselves a round of applause, even as we are already done. We're already done with the class. So let's just appreciate ourselves even as we leave the class. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, Adedoyin. Thank you, Randolph. Thank you, Covenant. Thank you. Thank you, Iyanolua. Ogu, Elizabeth, Cosmos, Akue, Shuaib. Thank you. All right. So goodbye, everyone. cap. Marco and later mo wash your tongue. I'm not doing serious. Anyway.